Thank you. First of all, not all the data shows that these are successful. Somebody up here said all the data does, or the data does, or the federal things he's read. I have also read. I have read numerous reports. Many of the West Coast cities have had a very sad, unsuccessful experience with road diets. So don't tell me that they all work, because they don't. One of the predictors if they are successful, based on a very thorough study by Rice University, has said that if the people don't accept them, they are not successful. So if you want road diets, you need to work with the people, prove to them that they work. And if you can't do it, we should not impose them on the people. And as far as saying, let's have a vote of the people, that's the only way we're going to find out what the majority thinks. Now, when it comes to things like parking, which a couple weeks ago, we overrode our parking regulations on the Hyatt. If we say no road diets, but the people love them, they want them, they come to us, and we will change the decision for them. We will say, fine, you can have a road diet. And I believe with Mountain View Road, that has been used as an example several times. Transportation wanted to use Mountain View Road to relieve the traffic on Shea. The neighbors said no, and transportation listened. And that's all I'm asking for right now. The data is out. We've seen the results. I think we need to listen to the people who are impacted by this. And from what I see today, we are not listening to them. April 26, 2022, City Council meeting, vote on the TAP plan. This is what I said, printed and reviewed twice today. I ask you to do robust engagement of businesses and citizens, and that you use the most up-to-date traffic information before you do the conversion. They said they would. Okay? Now, here's my question. Data. Traffic counts should be performed within 1 year of the proposed narrowing. 3 years, not good. Too many variables. The data should have been more accurate, contrary to what they promised. Data collection should be done during peak demand in peak season, January to March. I'm not sure if that was done. I would like to see the data, and I would like to see the formula that is used to normalize and extrapolate the data. I've done science research. I want to see the formulas. I'm questioning the data. There should be a separate data column for projected traffic counts with new approved construction projects. That's just the data that we need to make a good decision. Now, notification. There should be meetings between staff and each business owner that is affected or adjacent to the narrow road. I don't know, we got a petition with the 22 businesses saying they were not notified. Now, Tom went and looked, and yes, they did get postcards. Okay? These are the postcards I got last week in 1 day. 5 very big postcards. The only reason they're not in the garbage is because I wanted to show everybody the value of these postcards, and it is very limited. Now, I know it was the standard way we used to do it. We need to come up with a better way. I would say that you need to meet with all the HOAs in the affected zones, and again, you need to meet with all the businesses that are affected. I think you need to have generous signage perpendicular to the roads under consideration for at least 90 days. I think you need to use all the social media notification of the neighborhood meetings so that we get good participation. Some of the responsibility is yours and mine. We do make these meetings available. We do a pretty good job of advertising them, but people don't bother to go. So you need to assume some of the responsibility, as do I. And then I talked about the postcards. Now, if we get all this data and the people don't want these roads, why don't we listen and not do it? If we don't want that, that is the whole purpose of doing the research. If you get the majority of the business owners saying no, if you get the majority of the people saying we didn't know anything about it, and then when they find out they don't want it, perhaps we should not do it. I was voted in by the people. I promised to represent the people. I don't think the vote that was taken on these road diets represents the view of the people. I would suggest perhaps a 5-year moratorium on all road diets, or at the next election in '24, we all get to vote on it, and a moratorium until we vote on it. Now, there was a study done very recently, a polling done, and it had to do with the hospitals and Banner and Honor Health. But you know what the #1 concern was of the residents in the city of Scottsdale? Traffic. And it's not going to get better, and again, I question your data. So those are basically my impressions. I think that I was let down by the research that was done. I actually don't trust the data unless I can see it and do the calculations. So you've got a growth in population. We're waiting at traffic lights longer and longer. Why? Is it traffic? Is it something else? I don't know. But before we do this, we need to get the data to make an informed decision. Thank you.
Councilmember Graham and then Councilwoman Whitehead.